Bonjour, mes amis. Welcome back to our Civ 5 LP. Today we will be giving a quick look at the last modded Civ we are using. That is Charles de Gaulle of La France. His unique ability is Great Generals grant the amphibious promotion to adjacent units and may be expended for culture. So this has kind of got an aspect of the German UA in that the German generals are expended for science, these are expended for culture, kind of like Great Writers. So that's kind of a neat way to get some great generals useful beyond just the usual combat benefits. Amphibious promotion, not the world's greatest promotion, but, attacking over rivers happens a lot, so it could be useful. The second part is pretty funny, though. 10% great general generation for every original French city captured by an enemy, up to 50%. So this is not great in the sense that every city you found increases tech costs by 5%. That never goes away. So really, it's kind of getting great general generation for more difficult science generation. This, I think, needs to get a little rebalanced. I kind of understand the whole French resistance thing going on, but I think it could be better. Honestly, it could be better. So the second half isn't that useful. The expended for culture is not bad if you go a little warmongery, but that's just the UA. Let's look at the unique units and buildings, shall we? Let's do this one first, because this is my special thing. So let's go to this one here. Cafe is a replacement for the broadcast tower, so really late game. But when both great work slots are filled here, which would be music, by the way, infantry units trained in the city gain +1 sight and 20% more experience from combat. That is pretty freaking awesome. It's a lot of experience, even though it comes pretty late. And also reveals the tiles adjacent to the city if under the control of another civ. This is assuming that when another civ takes the city, the cafe is still there, which may or may not happen, given that a lot of culture buildings are often burned. But yeah, so, I mean, again, I like the first part of this. The second part of this depends on you almost kind of losing. So, not a great thing, but manageable. However, this, I think, is the French standout, honestly. So this is a Char B1. It's an early tank. It is a land ship replacement. It upgrades to a tank, but the specifics of this is quite ridiculous. So, begins with 20% defense and possesses a range attack. So first of all, 20% on defense for land ships is huge. That is 72 strength effectively on defense. Combat is 60, obviously, so, a little loopy. And it also has a ranged attack. 65 strength range attack, 2 tiles. This is basically a Keshik that runs on oil and blows the ever-living crap out of cities. It also has a melee attack, so it can also take cities, in addition to beating the crap out of them via range. Basically, you get a fleet of these, the game ends. I played a game with this at one point. Once I got these tanks, the game was over. Because literally, they will single-handedly take cities. You get 7 of these, they'll knock down the enemy troops, they'll pillage everything else, take the city, and just move on. These are insanely strong, so they can attack either at range or at melee, and they have 72 strength on defense. It is obscene. So, while, the EUA is kind of okay, half of it's good, the Cafe is kind of half good, the Char B1 is ludicrously strong. This is obviously premised on the idea that France actually makes it to land ship tech. We can say Vive la France all we want, but in our LP, France est mort. They have died already, thanks to the Nazis. So, without repeating too much of World War II history, let's get back into it and see how Stalin is doing. All right, see you soon. Greetings, brethren of the great Soviet state. We are back. We are very much back. We have dealing with Nazi problems, but they be deal with quickly. Welcome back. Yes, we are under siege by the Nazis. Yes, we have dealt with them summarily, and there is basically no more threat from the Nazis. They can do all they want, but they really can't take anything of value to us. So, yay. What were we doing? Yes. We were going to move this fellow here, so you could finish the mine, because it's not a mine yet. We'll move the knight to protect him. And literally, we'll just, figuratively, and in every other possible metaphorical sense, clean up. Kill all these Nazi units, regain our territorial border integrity, and then promptly celebrate with there ain't no party like a Stalinist party, because a Stalinist party is highly mandatory. All right. Anyway. Sorry about that. The America has adopted the autocracy ideology, which is A, freaking hilarious, B, really annoying. Again, they do have that one factory replacement thing that does give them an ideology with one of those. So he stole our cattle, boo. At least he left us our marble, yay. So, you know, this is really annoying. I will have to kill the Americans at some point, like great Stalinist leader must do. There's a Polish worker up here. I'm afraid Piłsudski settled the city up in the Isle of Great Britain. We will see. In the interim, however, we are just going to hang out here, get the Trebs set up, and see what we can do, what with killing all the Nazis and stuff. That is kind of a service to the world at large. So, yay. We are on our way toward industrialization. Only 12 turns to go. Finally, and then we'll move to artillery so we can take down the English and then move toward the Germans, the Nazis, as soon as possible. So, you want peace, but you want 3 of my cities. You know, why don't you go blow it out your ass there? Okay, buddy? Yeah? I lost a pike? Are you serious right now? Come on, that is just childish. How did I lose a pike? He got shot by like 2 things. That is ludicrous. I'm really surprised at how much actual combat bonuses the Nazis get. What is this? Poland has won autocracy, so we have 2 autocrats here. This is this is going to be a mess. I'm actually really surprised at this. I did not expect me to lose said pike. I do want to take the settler, which I can do in 1 turn. I think that'll be more than worth the cost of losing my scout, so I'm going to do that. Steal the Nazi settler because, you know what, they don't deserve to settle over here. Up in her, up in her. Crossbow, longsword, damage. Let's see what else we can do. I do need to kill this Nazi trireme, which we can do in 1 shot. Son of a monkey's bottom. Oh well. No more Nazi trireme. Let's see what we can do here. Well, we can kill this, I guess. I'm actually really freaking surprised that I lost that pike. That is hella weird. Honestly, I'm not sure why that happened. He had cover. He was good. He was a good, diligent soldier of the Soviet state, and yet he lost his life. Well, that just means we get to build some muskets and call it a day. So, not too bad. Hey, we have an opera house up. Johannes Ockeghem can make us some good music. Play that funky music. Yay, for tourism. All right, so, what do we got? We had a scout up here. He ran away. Yay. Minsk is now going to be growing more and more, so we're going to have to do with our happiness thing more and more. We will plug in some units into our university, but first, let's get some... You know what? I'm actually okay with this rate of growth. I want to get my stuff built out quickly. Lighthouse in 4, so why do you have 4 food on the fish tiles already? No, it's not being worked by Minsk. That would be why. Well, we'll have more food on fish tiles soon. That fish tile as well. That is within 3. Yes, it is. So that's fine. Let's get the lighthouse up, and the market, the amphitheater, the stable, and then we'll have a very, very, very productive city indeed. For now, though, let's go take this down. And I do believe I should be able to take the general. Yep, this is going to be somewhat problematic, but I should be okay. I needed to kill that general. It is far more worthwhile not to leave that Nazi general up, not just because of the military issues, but also purely for the, they get extra science from generals. We don't want to be able to let them just bulb for free. I'm really sad about that pike. I was 90% certain he would survive. Otherwise, I would have not have made that move. But he died, so boo-hoo. Well, so much for that, so much for that, so much for that. And the general, the Patton. Let's bring the Patton. I do want to support this guy because he could be in a little bit of threat. Let's move here and set up. Let's move you here and set up next turn and then shoot. Hey, we have a caravan, so let's bring this toward our capital, toward Moscow itself. We need to get some food in there. That way we can get specialists in a little quicker, and that definitely going to speed up our growth. We'll be able to get our artists guild up and running without too much effort, and then basically just maintain our city growth the way we would like it. So we're going to keep the trireme here on defensive mode, defending our luxuries. Our trebs are ready to fire. This cargo ship has ended. Let's go back to Tokyo. That wouldn't be bad, but let's see. Does any of these city-states want a trade route? Manila wants a trade route. Manila is not exactly a city-state I particularly care about. Though a little bit of rep wouldn't hurt, I suppose. I'm just worried if I send a ship here, there's going to be a Nazi trireme just coming in and wrecking it. So I think I'm just going to keep sending it to Tokyo. Keep positive relations with the Japanese, since they are going to be our front against the Americans. It looks like the Americans are beating the crap out of Tojo, so, you know, may not be so easy, honestly, to deal with the Americans. Osaka got taken, because the Polish took Osaka, and they're also at war with the Americans, I think. So, yeah, the Japanese are being pushed back pretty hard. So this is going to be a pretty interesting game, I have to say. Anyway, onward. A unit was killed. Oh, they killed my scout. Boo-hoo. Well, I'm just going to keep moving here and see if I can save this worker somehow. I'm going to move out this way, actually, and then get toward Florence. They'll be able to protect me. That scout, though, earned his pay, honestly. He did good. He served the Soviet state well. Kill you. Oh, come on, man. Can you die now? Thank you. But that was worth it. We took the general down. We took the settler down. So now the Nazis have really no claim on this territory. They can just sit here all they want and grumble and groan, and it will avail them of nothing. So, let's bring the crossbow into here. Finally, be a little more useful. That worker is done with stuff. We can adopt a policy. Excellent. Let's get free thought, a little more science. 216 to be exact. I like that number a lot better than 170. We'll be working toward purging our territory of these crossbows shortly. So let's see. It's a hill. Yep, that is a forest grassland hill. So that is perfect. We'll move the crossbow there. He'll be able to fire in here as need be. This worker, he can't really escape, can he? Oh, well. Well, we did take that settler out at the very least, so that's nice. Let's see. We have another crossbow down there, but I will worry about that one later. Let's go out this way. Where are you? There you go. And let's ping at this just a little bit. We do want to kind of bait these guys in as much as possible, so I think leaving the worker here might not be a bad idea. Though then again, the closer they get to Florence, the better it is to use my ally, Whatwith, to kill them. This general is doing fine here. We're okay with our triremes for the moment. You have finished your construction, so we can throw you, I guess, here. Let's buy that tile up. I'm tired of waiting for it. Go there. You will build another farm there to serve the state. You, sir, have you finished a road? No, you have not. So let's get a road down. Peace treaty expired with Churchill. That's fine. He's not going to do anything. Borders of Minsk has grown. Excellent. Not where I wanted to, obviously. Otherwise, we'd be having a different conversation. And next. Yeah, we know they captured the worker. I am not surprised at this. However, they will suffer greatly for this. And I'll recapture said worker. Unless my own city-state buddy here trolls me, which they pretty much just did. They screwed me over. Hey, buddy. I can actually ping you. Yay. I want to make sure that worker is recapturable. If it requires angering Manila a little bit, so be it. Their military forces will be minimal at best afterwards. So let's keep moving this one this way. He's obviously sitting right there. Hi, Scout. Do you want to get killed? Okay, go there. We'll get a farm up. And, yeah, the war is pretty much over. War's over, baby! The Hitler...
Argent pearls did my tears.
Yes, argent pearls did my tears seem with the passing years. Very dramatic. Very dramatic. Alright. Here is fine. Even with that one food route, we are still a little shy on citizen generation, but we'll get that a little better. Ironworks will be coming up soon. We'll be able to move one of these off of said tile onto a food tile, and then we'll be better off. But for now, we'll leave it there. Leningrad has obviously grown as well to support the Soviet state. We can put you... Yeah, where can we put you, actually? There's not a lot of gray workable tiles here. I guess that's as good as we're going to get, though I do want to kind of grow a little more than I currently am. I suppose I can work here and turn that into a non-freshwater farm one of these days. You finished the mine here. Excellent. We have a little iron to sell. We can sell iron to people, can we not? Of course we can. Piłsudski, always a pleasure speaking with you. Tak jest, chłopaku. Okay, he does value iron, so let's say 2 iron for 3 GPT. Oh, we have dyes, though. We can get some happiness. what would that be? That would be 45 times 5 is 225? Is that right? 5 iron maybe for a dyes? He likey. Excellent. All right, good. So 5 iron for dyes. We get a little more happiness from Piłsudski, the ever-conquering Pole, apparently. It's World War II, man. Alternate World War II. Some creepy, creepy stuff. Tell you that much right now. All right. Let's see. I guess it's about as good as we can do. Yeah, we know we lost the worker, but that wasn't ours to begin with. 2 growths, and they're not metastasizing, so we are okay. Yep, we'll get this worker to do that farm shortly. The knight is almost done repairing himself after that little bit of abuse. The trebuchet is finally solid. Let's just keep him there. Oh, that treb, I guess, can go in the city and line up. This general can go here to be useful. That treb can go to Kyiv. And then we're going to basically now go back to almost peace footing. The last couple crossbows we have will be able to deal with the Nazis forthwith, good sir, forthwith. That road is almost done. We'll be able to connect Birmingham, and this will be able to move our artillery into range of London quickly. We'll get 2 unique luxuries from London effectively here, and that way we will prosper greatly. We have 20 more turns of the ivory, and that'll be just enough time in order to get us our artillery corps up. So yay. No one can construct Machu Picchu. I'm okay with this. Friend, it looks like the scout is coming up this way. We can do some damage, though it won't be that much. Hey, there's that worker I've been chasing. We can move here and then take a shot? I think we can. This shouldn't be zone of control from Manila. Yeah, there we go. We're not at war. Hey, friend. Oh, really? Even with the general support, we couldn't get that one. Okay, no worries. Get the general up here. Get that one out here, just to see where that little Nazi's going. Oh, those silly Nazis. Let's bring you to Kyiv, as we said before. Save us some money and keep you safe. We didn't lose any trebs, though. Why do we only have 3 for some reason? 1, 2, 3. Where is... Oh, there's the 4th one. Ah, there you are, to Birmingham. Excellent. Good job. Cheerio. Quite. For any English people who are watching this show, I'm apologizing. I am quite aware that I'm turning your entire country into a stereotype, but, you know, that's how I roll, yo. All right. Do we need to make another treb at Leningrad? Why the hell not is the answer. What's wrong here? Oh, that's right, we can get a prophet soon. Excellent. I would like to have a enhanced religion, such that life would be better. All right, get a farm here, freshwater farms, make Minsk happy boy. We'll probably be able to get this worker. I don't think the Nazis will be able to run it away from us. Let's see. That's fine. Why don't you go down here for now and repair the wheat farm. We'll probably turn Birmingham into an effective city in and of itself. It's on a river, it's got decent population, and it'll have decent production once we're done with it. So I do think I'm going to turn this into a valuable city, at which point I do want to repair these. I will get a courthouse up there forthwith. You, sir, you are going to be useful in chasing down these knights, so why don't you, knights, crossbows, so why don't you do that? We can buy stuff, we want to profit. We got dyes, life is good, no more Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu's been built, we know. Next. You might actually put him in the water. That may be annoying. We won't be able to capture that worker. Clever little Nazis. Well, we shall overcome, and we shall kill them all. Hey, great prophet. Good governments. Gift to the state? Hell yeah, 570 gold. I will take that in a heartbeat. We're going to save that because we have a decision available for, I think, 900 gold worth once industrialization kicks over. So, yeah, that's a thing. Florence captured the worker. Isn't that awkward as all hell? I really wanted that one. Oh well. At least we deprived it. We deprived the Nazis of yet another settler, so that's great. That scout went away, so I guess this guy can heal up for now while he watches our northern coast. I'm pretty happy, actually. The Japanese are pretty aggressive generally, but their aggression has been focused on the Americans, who are now kicking the crap out of them, which is just a little scary. So I pretty much have 2 problems. Basically, the Nazis to the west, the Americans to the east. When's the last time you heard that in one sentence? But yeah. So let's enhance the religion while we've got it. What can we get? Follower belief. Not going to have a lot of faith to spend on stuff, so why don't we do something that'll be useful? Religious art, I think Hermitage is probably a safe bet. We're not going to really get much out of anything else. Amphitheaters provide faith. We could get one more faith point out of amphitheaters in our capital, and then once our religion spreads, it'll go elsewhere. But I do still think that the Hermitage is probably most useful. Let's do that. Belief. And let's do religious texts or unity. No, religious texts. Or itinerant preacher. That's really the question. I think religious texts would be better. Let's do itinerant preachers. Why not? Go. Get some pressure in other cities beyond the ones we'd normally pressure. All right, gift to the state. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Trespassing Manila. We will move, I swear, but not right now. Go there. We're going to run back, obviously, with the general type things. So the Nazis are done here. They're effectively done. Let's see if we can make peace with the Hitler. Utter annihilation. Dude, you don't have forces here. Are you serious? No, we're going to let this roll a little bit. We're going to let this roll. Granted, though, he does have bonuses to his Great General Generation the longer a war goes on. So that in and of itself may be an issue. It may militate the ending of this war sooner rather than later. However, it is the Nazis. Don't want to kick the crap out of them just a little longer. Who built the Red Fort? That's what I want to know. If it's the Germans, this is going to be a pain in the ass. If it's the Americans, it'll be a pain in the ass too. I don't think it's the Americans. That number is relatively low. So it may be the Germans, actually. Let's see. Who built the Red Fort? Yeah, it's the Nazis. Go figure. Go figure. So we may have to deal with the Nazis last, honestly. It'll be likely easier to go through the English and then move on to the Americans. Maybe by way of the Japanese, I'm not sure. If they get wiped out, I may have to liberate them. Just, a little bit of liberation before we move on. Yeah, this map is a little scary. Mainly because it's a little bigger. All these scrambled continents maps are a little larger than the standard templates. So you get AIs that can expand really far and in a big way relatively quickly. So I'm not always a fan of that aspect of these kind of maps. Holy crap, that is why he wants to forestall my utter annihilation. He's bringing reinforcements. Hey, friends, that means more experience for us. So let's bring our forces back down. You don't need to worry about that scout. You need to worry about everything else that's coming our way. So it looks like we're not quite done with the Nazis yet, but hey, that's what we're here for, right? Defending against the Nazi threat. Hungarian Rhapsody number 2, yay. All right, so now we know what's coming here. That's why that guy was willing to stand there like a tool, because he is getting reinforcements coming from behind. Excellent. Stay there, get that farm up, and then we'll discuss later. You are good, so why don't you repair this? The road is finally done, so we have a little more income. 70 more gold per turn. That is nice. Maybe we get Manila to get our ally. Oh, no, we kind of pissed them off, so this would be difficult. There's no allies here. How much would I need? Hold on. Yeah, I know. Where's the thing? Friendly. That's good. I mean, we'll be able to keep them pretty easily, honestly. But no one is their ally at the moment, so this should be relatively simple. Though, honestly, that negative influence kind of hampered our progress a little bit. We could get 80 and then get... that would still be out of range, actually. Let's wait a little bit until that recovers. It'd be a shame to waste money on that. And we could get another coffee plantation. I wouldn't mind selling that along. Birmingham, we could work. Let's actually, while we have the happiness... hello, France. Let us get a courthouse up. Let's annex it and get a courthouse up. Might as well. -5 happiness, but we'll get a courthouse for that quickly. Let's reset here, get you out of there. There. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That too. Okay. I will likely improve these cows sooner rather than later. So let's put that there. Yep. So let's improve those cows. I want to do this now while we still have a little bit of happiness buffer. We can get that courthouse up right quick. And then we'll be fine. Yeah, we're a little low on production here, but we should be able to remedy that relatively quickly once we repair the horses. So, onward. Did I screw myself over? I did. I did, because they do not have a workshop yet. Let's just do that for now. I have a lot of money. I don't mind spending this. I want to keep the ironworks growing. So, next turn, I guess? Skip. We did that already. Yep, we did that. We did that. What are we going to do? Nothing yet. Don't need tax reforms. We still have a lot of money. The gift to the state turned out to be very handy. Next turn. And the Nazis are running away. Okay, that's good. Maybe he'll be more favorable toward a peace settlement now. Tojo's in the industrial. I'll be there soon, guys. I'm going to be part of the party, man. Sooner rather than later. So go out of here. Stop pissing off Manila. We're going to have to deal with the Nazis again at some point, but maybe they have decided to actually call it quits for a little while. Yay, Zhukov, go here. Can we make peace on a more complete capitulation? Dude, no, I don't want to make flat, let's just make flat peace. I'm tired of fighting this guy for now. Flat peace, and you can make peace with Florence. Yay. Hey, you're friendly again, isn't that cute? Hitler is friendly. Yeah, okay, whatever. We're fine. So we have successfully defended against the Nazi threat. Trespassing Manila, don't care. Birmingham has grown, excellent. Just in time, thank you very much. Why don't we put you here? A little more production here would be useful. A courthouse would be useful. We do want Circus Maximus up. 5 happiness would be a godsend at this point. So let's finish the Treb and get the Circus Maximus up here. Likely going to get the National Epic up here, though we'll put that at the end of everything. We do want to get the Guild up now. I've put that off long enough. And you, sir, the General, right. So we made peace with the Nazis. Once this is done, we'll put in the coffee plantation, get that to trade at the very least. And just keep building ourselves up until we get artillery, and then just kind of stomp a little bit. Stomp over London first, and then... Like, I do kind of want to go after the Nazis, but America is becoming a problem. They're taking down the Japanese. Between them and the Polish, the Japanese are really losing ground quickly. And if I don't do anything about this, they have so many cities. If I thought the Nazis had a lot of cities, America has a lot of cities too. And it's just going to be a problem. These big maps are a little scary. So we'll see how this game goes. I mean, this may be ending poorly for the Stalin and co., though I do appreciate all the votes of confidence thus far. We're sticking with it instead of going, wow, he did. As soon as you see this game coming on. But we should be okay, right? Maybe? No? Probably not. Night. Fine. Good. Next. Cargo ship. Right. So what we're going to do with this one? We're going to send food from Minsk to Kyiv. I think that was going to be the plan. Because Kyiv needs food badly. It's kind of like Gauntlet, really. Kyiv needs food badly. Churchill is the threat to stability of the world. I agree. No, he's not really, but I do want a city. He basically took down the French, so now he wants to kill someone else. And it's either us or Churchill. And at this point, since we beat him back relatively emphatically, his next aim is London. But we're going to have artillery sooner rather than later. We're going to move up to strong infantry, and then we'll be fine. Kind of looks like, oh, hey, a great scientist, yay. It looks like the Americans may be thinking about us next, too. Not great. So we have a lot of fronts to fight on right now, and this is going to be a very warlike game, I'm afraid. Though I do like warlike games, so yay. Why don't we put you here? Another academy. You, sir, come back here. Yeah, the Nazis are still kind of hanging around. They're thinking about going after the English. Not surprising, given that, like I said, there's very few targets available for the Nazis, and they are just uber. That's not a German joke. They are just uber aggressive, though. Very, very aggressive. So they will take whatever opportunities that are provided them. Zhukov can stay there in the capital, and Knight will keep cover on our worker for in the moment. This cargo ship can now go to Kyiv with food. Food. Excellent. Yay. So now Kyiv can grow like a normal city, and we'll get the mines up, and that'll become awesome. That'll be a really strong coastal city to produce our battleships later. Days I hope I have oil. This would be one of them. We'll see. I'm not sure if I do have one. You want salt, but that requires a deal with Hitler, which may or may not happen given that he does want our death, and he's unlikely to give us what we desire most. Not a chance in hell, buddy. You are not getting open borders from me. If you want to attack Churchill, you go after Manchester, go through Edinburgh, and then go to London. Or just go to London through here, because there's nothing else around here. Yeah, okay. So, Florence wants Manila bullied. Oh dear. Birmingham demands spices. Well, you're going to be demanding that for a little while, buddy. I don't see a way to supply that to you in any reasonable amount of time. Pasture soon. Academy now. Let's bring... What do we want to bring here? Always lacking food here, aren't we? Go there. Go to the academy. We do need more science. We need to keep cranking that out as fast as possible. Now, Citizen 5, I think it may be wise to get another trade route with food up to my capital from Leningrad, possibly. So let's finish Kyiv at the market. Let's go to Caravan. I need to send food to my capital. It is not coastal, regrettably. So we have to basically send double the caravans up until that point. But for now, let's get the knight up here. Let's get the worker making a coffee plantation. And we'll keep our crossbows patrolling our territory. As you do. Yep, go in there. And what else we got? What else we got? Zhukov. Zhukov can stay in Moscow in Zhukov. Yep, you can lock down. And that seems as good a place as any to call it for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have successfully beaten off the Nazis. Okay, that came out wrong, but you know what I'm trying to say. Repelled the Nazi assault. We've beaten them off with good use of crossbows, knights, and trebuchets. We are going to be industrialized in one turn. We'll get our ideology running. I may just go autocracy, not because it gives me free things, but because, you know, everyone's doing it, man. Might as well. And this war, this game is going to turn into nothing but a giant pile of bloodshed. So might as well have autocracy with all the happiness policies that entails. So thank you so much. I have been Urs. This has been Stalin and the World War II free-for-all. I will be waiting for you to tune in next time while we see how we can deal with this giant map and maybe turn this into some kind of victory. It's getting scary. I'm really worried about my Japanese ally at this point. Those Americans look really aggressive, man. All right, thank you so much. I will see you next time.